Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Nurses Hub. So today I want to talk to you about your pee, about weeing, about your urine, about full bladders, and about breaking the seal. Have you ever been to the pub and you excuse yourself, "No mate, just got to go to the loo," and all your mates go, "Oh, they're breaking the seal." Okay, so people think that breaking the seal is actually a real thing. But it has everything to do with a little hormone that runs around our body and regulates how much fluid we have in our body, called antidiuretic hormone. Now, you might have heard the term diuretic. That's a tablet or a drink that you take that makes you wee more. Well, antidiuretic stops you from weeing. So it basically tells the kidneys it's produced in the brain and it's stored in another part of the brain, and when we need it, it's released into the bloodstream. So if we didn't have it, our kidneys would just keep emptying urine into the bladder and we'd end up dehydrated. So the level of antidiuretic hormone does this, and it does it so that we can maintain a good level of fluid balance within the body. So I've done a little bit of an example of what antidiuretic hormone is and how it impacts your bladder, and why when you drink you feel like you're breaking the seal but you're actually stopping your antidiuretic hormone from working. So our bucket's the trusty old bladder, the hose is representative of our kidneys, and I'm being the antidiuretic hormone. So basically I'm kinking the hose or regulating the kidneys as to whether or not the kidneys are filling up the bucket. And so this goes on all the time, day and night, as to whether we've got enough fluid in our bodies, we've got too much. It's regulating, the antidiuretic hormone is regulating the kidneys to fill up the bladder or not fill up the bladder. But then when we drink, can't regulate the antidiuretic hormones, kind of getting drunk. And the antidiuretic hormone isn't regulating the fluid coming out of the kidneys. Staggering a little bit, kind of like you might after a couple of drinks. Because the antidiuretic hormone, it doesn't know what to do. It's decreased, it's not stopping the urine going into the bladder, and the bladder keeps filling up, and it fills up at a faster rate than if you're not drinking alcohol. So sorry, breaking the seal is not a real thing. You're just dehydrating yourself and filling up your bladder quicker. So all fun and games aside, antidiuretic hormone plays a really important role in stopping you from being dehydrated, but it's also an indicator that other things might be wrong in your body. So if you're having to get up in the middle of the night to go to the toilet, it means your antidiuretic hormone hasn't raised to the levels to stop your bladder from filling up. Now, if you're not getting a good enough sleep, and sleep apnea is actually the major culprit. If you're not getting a good enough sleep, your antidiuretic hormone can't raise to its correct level, and you have to get up 2 or 3 times a night to go to the toilet. Now, the other thing that might actually cause your antidiuretic hormone to be superseded or overridden is if you've got too much glucose in your system. So if you've got type 2 diabetes that is not being controlled, maybe you don't know you've got type 2 diabetes, but you're finding that you've got to get up 2 or 3 times a night to go to the toilet, then it means that your antidiuretic hormone might be working, but it might be overridden by something else, something more important. And that's your body trying to get rid of excess glucose out of its system. So the best way that the body knows how to get rid of something is to wee it out. And so it's trying to regulate your blood glucose, and so it's trying to push as much of it out through the kidneys as possible. And it's one of the telltale signs that if you're getting up 2 or 3 times a night, the first thing you should have checked is your blood sugars. So there are other things that can cause it as well. So if you're pregnant, you've got a baby pressing on your bladder. Your body is not going to cope with a baby pressing on your bladder, and you're going to get up 2 or 3 times a night to go to the toilet. That's fine. There are some other things, but the two main things is your sleep apnea and diabetes. So if you have to get up 2 or 3 times a night, what I really want you to do is take yourself off to your local doctor. They are brilliant. You know, they'll be all over this like a rash. And they will check your blood sugars. Ask them about a sleep study, you know, especially if you're waking up feeling tired. So your GP, just go and see them. If you're not getting a good night's sleep, if you're having to get up 2 or 3 times a night to go to the toilet, go and see your GP. These are usually things that can be addressed. We've got great management systems for both diabetes and for sleep apnea. So this has been another Nurses Hub video. Don't forget to subscribe, and thanks for watching.